Hello everyone, I'm CoolGuy, welcome back. Something really interesting happened, something I didn't think was a chance at a drop, and on my end, it's really unfortunate I didn't get any footage. I thought I was recording, I wasn't. I've been trying to get the dungeon pulse since it came out, and I finally got mine today, but not from the dungeon at all. I got it to drop from the weekly lectern drop from Eris Morn, and this is a pulse that really excited me for a number of reasons when I saw it, and we'll explore those reasons in this review. Today's all about the high impact void Premonition. This is a special pulse for a number of reasons, and in this review it's going to be a very positive one. Lots of good things to say about it in the Crucible. Now I am going to be going over PvE a little bit, PvP, all around utility. I will say this, with the right perks in PvP, it is a powerhouse with true stopping power. It's obtained from the dungeon, and when going in there, it is advised to have the weekly bounty done for the consumable. That way you can pop it before an encounter and have a good chance for it to drop. Now, as I started with, it can drop from the lectern weekly as well. I believe the altar waves weekly. That was my very first drop for it, and I've done the dungeon a good amount of times without any success, so it was a real surprise to get it this way. The Premonition is the first energy high impact pulse rifle in the game, so stop and think about that until just now. That in its own makes it really intriguing. This allows for loadout variety, running this with Chaperone, Huckleberry, Izanagi, Dust Rock, Revoker, and many more. It's Void, a common theme for some of the better weapons this season to deal with Vex. This high impact, due to its slot, its rollable perks, it has a real chance to stick around in your loadout past this season. It kind of has a Hopscotch Pilgrim vibe to it, and if you don't know what that means, if that was just gibberish, that's okay, just know it feels really good, it feels strong. For the base stats, it has a range of 64, stability of 48, handling of 33, reload of 40, aim assist of 32, and a recoil direction stat of 77. Now the base stats are fine. It does have the lowest stability out of all the high impacts though. It has a stat of 48. The next best stat is the Einstein with a 50 stat, so it's not that far off, and all the other stats are pretty average. Nothing glaring that really brings it down. For the recoil direction, it has a stat of 77 that pulls to the right a little bit. Nothing crazy. It doesn't trail or anything like that. On console, it does have a bounce trait, but it never really veers off. That's okay, we can work with that. Don't add a counterbalance mod to it for console if you're using a controller. It creates an actual trail. It starts trailing off and veering to the left, and that starts creating other issues that we shouldn't have in the first place. So controller players, target adjuster, sprint grip, backup mag, or PvE specific mods like minor spec. For mouse and keyboard on PC, you have a gift. Don't take it for granted. You're very accurate with M&K, way more so than controller, and that shows up in the background gameplay. And in this review, there is both. There's mouse and keyboard PC, there's controller on Xbox. For the role that I have, the one that you've been seeing, I have Fluted Barrel, the low-key unsung hero for barrel options. It grants the most handling, and my role also has a handling masterwork. For the magazine, mine has a pinned mag or light mag, and my perks are rangefinder and kill clip. As for all pulses, mouse and keyboard, you lean more to range, console or controller, you lean more to stability when trying to fill out your role. So for its rollable perks, barrels have the same as other weapons, full bore for range, polygonal for stability, small bore for range and stability, fluted for handling. Magazine options, numerous options to actually extend the magazine. The top three are going to go to armor piercing, high caliber, and the top overall choice, ricochet round. It has a condensed perk pool in the final two rollable nodes, kind of like the raid weapons. That's a good thing, it's a better chance at a usable roll. In the first perk node we have under pressure, rangefinder, firmly planted, or outlaw. All four of these are great, every single one of them. Now firmly planted and under pressure, that's more so for console or controller. Here's the last prediction with firmly planted on Xbox. You see what it does to the spread when you're crouching, so you can knee slide around a corner with this, and with this pulse rifle, it's a high impact. The inherent high impact frame states you're more accurate when stationary, so these kind of work together. The second perk node, we have Kill Clip, Headseeker, Demolitionist, and Dragonfly. So Kill Clip's top tier. Headseeker is a great PvP perk, and I'll get into the resilience values later on and show just how much it can help. Demolitionist, it's a fantastic perk. It's another void weapon for the Nezarec Void Lock, but not only that, it's just a great perk for all around play. We have Dragonfly, and as far as random rolls go, we now have a Rapid Fire 540, the Horror's Least, a 390, the Adhortative, and now a high impact, this one that can roll Dragonfly. That's okay. I personally prefer single shot Dragonfly weapons, Scouts, hand cannons. It's going to be up to the player. Some enjoy Dragonfly pulses. If that's you, this is definitely worth a pickup. The perk combinations are overall solid. They really are. Outlaw Kill Clip, Rangefinder Kill Clip. I would say mouse and keyboard, Outlaw and Rangefinder are the top two options in the first node. Controller, the same thing is going to go, but the other two work really well for a controller. Don't be upset if they drop with under pressure or firmly planted. Both of those really complement controller. There are a couple perk combinations that work against each other. One is under pressure Headseeker. Getting more stable is a very good thing, but it kind of starts working against Headseeker, and the second one is firmly planted Headseeker. It's the same thing. Super stable works well, but it's starting to work against Headseeker. Both of these roles can work, but just know how they're attempting to synergize. Before I get into the PvE and PvP sections, it really depends on how you compare it. Yes, it's a high impact like Redrix, but this is energy. We just had a slug shotgun be introduced into the kinetic slot, the blast firmer, and yeah, you could compare that to Gnora's axe, good bone structure, but what it's more so doing is loadout diversity. It's just a completely different setup. I find value in that, and the scope on this pulse is very clean and open. In PvP, these do 34 to the head and 21 to the body. These got a great PvP buff, it's a 6 bullet kill, and with the buff damage, you can 5 crit in one body, 3 resilience or less. You couldn't do that before they got this buff. That's really nice, ease of use. The 6 bullet kill is a 0.67 TTK. It's worth noting that Headseeker puts in a lot of work. The base 1 body, 5 crit, downs 3 resilience and lower, so that can't down 5, 6, or 7 resilience. With Headseeker, if you land your first body shot and then have the perk proc on 2 crits, it can down 6 resilience and less. So your enemy would have to be 7 resilience to survive that. Without Headseeker, they need 4 resilience. Very good perk, and it is worth your time if you snag a roll with it. That 0.67 TTK is key. It's a very fast time, and that's why I value Kill Clip the most out of all the perks that can roll for the Crucible. With Kill Clip, it is 45 to the head and 28 to the body. You only need to land 2 headshots and 4 body shots, and it can also be a 5 bullet kill as well for even faster TTK. And we can all agree that 0.67 is a great time to kill. Kill Clip allows you to hit that consistently. Not only consistently, but easily 2 bursting everything. So let's take a moment and realize that for a second. The only reason that's possible is because of the slight buff they got in Shadowkeep, and why Kill Clip is dominant on them. The Einstein comes to mind as another high impact if you can get it to roll with Kill Clip. I have a moving target Kill Clip roll. I, though, personally can't get anything going with it. The Haka Sights, I've never been a fan. That goes all the way back into Destiny 1, and for whatever reason, it feels nowhere near as consistent as this Premonition. But the Kill Clip roll is pure power. Players in rifts, players at distances, it's just huge damage, and a lot of times, I mean a lot. It's not just a rare instance where you can say, oh, it saved me. It happens all the time. And in the background of some of those clips, lots of times where the only thing that could keep me alive is a 2 burst, that 0.67. And Kill Clip allows that to happen. And the 4 body 2 crit never could have happened before the buff. And with Kill Clip, since you can proc it off of a body shot final blow, you can get that reload, you're gonna have it for your next engagement every time. And a lot of people wonder if it's better than Redrix, and when you ask that question, a lot goes into that. Here's the deal, Desperado, and don't get me wrong, I still love my Claymore. I love it to death. Redrix with Desperado on paper and in game is one of the most dominant weapons in the entire game. But it's balanced, and most are gonna agree, solely because Desperado needs a precision final blow to proc. You would see Redrix everywhere if you could use Desperado more, and you would see it everywhere if it's as good as everyone says that it is. And let's be clear, it is good, but I have games where Desperado is on fire. I get it over 10 times a match, but other games, I can only get it going 1 or 2 times. And if you don't get Desperado going on Redrix, it's a run-of-the-mill base pulse rifle. That's it, that's all. But that's kind of why you use it. It's the chance to be dominant with Desperado. And while it's fun and lethal, it is too far and few of when you can get it going. So with something like Kill Clip, it's just after the kill, I have it up and ready constantly, and the main point to take away is that you're achieving that 0.67 near effortlessly due to that high impact buff. And that 0.67 sits down the majority of other primaries in Destiny 2. You are taking a fusion out of your hands, a Recluse, a Beloved, and more, but you're inserting the Chaperone, Huckleberry Revoker, Dust Rock, and other things. Now as a pure dueling weapon, it's been doing very good, and since it's good at dueling, that makes Kill Clip that much better. It's a monster with it. The other roles can do fine. Headseeker would be my next perk to get, then Demolitionist, and then Dragonfly. For PvE, the only real role I would be looking for is going to be Demolitionist, then possibly Dragonfly. Void Demolitionist works this season with Oppressive Darkness. Overall, Premonition is good for general play. I had a really good time in the Vex Offensive, it does well in the Ultra Waves, but I took it into the dungeon and it really struggled. Being an energy weapon, even going after miners, it has a burst delay, it wasn't really doing too well. Though Recluse is getting nerfed, that's taken that out of my hands. It takes Loaded Question, things like that. Not really good for ad clear and not really good against majors. You can run Izanagi every waking moment, Izanagi Recluse be a lot better. It really struggled for me even with Kill Clip going. I can see where the Demolitionist or Dragonfly role could come into play, but I really wasn't impressed with higher tier PvE content. But for everything else though, it did fine. In conclusion, Premonition is the game's first ever energy high impact pulse. It has a great perk pool that should give you a nice pulse when it drops. For PvE, use at your own risk in higher play, but it works fine and does well in general play. For the Crucible, you want to be looking for Kill Clip or Headseeker. I would personally go Kill Clip first. You can feel very confident when you have that going. If you don't have Headseeker and you wanted to try it, and you played early D2, bring the Relentless out of collections, it's kinetic, it has Headseeker, very good perk on these high impacts. Due to the buff that they got in Shadowkeep Shadowkeep, kill clip allows you to have a consistent 0.67 or faster time to kill. You have to be very accurate to achieve that TTK without kill clip, but when you have it, it's easy going. It's a monster. If you're new to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to get my videos when they go live, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. This is one of the harder weapons to get this season. If you have it, sound off in the comments section and let us know what you think about it. If you don't have it, judging it by the review and from what you've seen, what do you think? Thank you guys for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.